And Jesus said, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. I have given you authority to trample on the snake and scorpion and to overcome all the powers of the enemy, and nothing will harm you.
For the past 10 years, we have seen the mighty hands of God moved in various areas in our ministry. We have seen many saved. We have seen many delivered from the kingdom of darkness into his wonderful kingdom of light. We have seen the life of many turn around and saved in our neighborhood and in the world at large.
As you listen to this program, I believe the Lord will bring you to the understanding of the fullness of his power in you, so that you can always take authority over the enemy and be an overcomer. God bless you as you listen.
But God expects anyone that he has called to lead people to sit down and develop a dream. As long as your dream is mechanized by the dreams of other people or by the views of other people, I'm talking about man and woman of God, you will miss God's given dream. Tonight, what came to me very clearly when I was looking at the density of us ministers here for this time is the matter on dreams and visions. Dreams and visions. I want to say to us that dreams and visions are words that are used whenever you speak about dreams or visions. The first thing we think about is the prophetic, because dreams and visions are they are connotations of the prophetic. If I read to you from Numbers chapter 12 very quickly. Numbers chapter 12. Let's look at Numbers. Numbers chapter 12. If we talk about dreams and visions, the first thing that goes into the heart of man is prophetic. And that is very correct. In Numbers chapter 12, verse 5, it says, then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud. He stood at the entrance of the tent and summoned Aaron and Miriam. When both of them stepped forward, verse 6 of that chapter says, and God said, listen to my words. When a prophet of the Lord is among you, I reveal myself to him in visions. I speak to him in dreams. So when we talk about visions and dreams, the first thing that comes to our mind is prophetic, encounter. Well, God speaks to prophet, if there is a prophet at all. Of course, we understand that in this time we have a lot of titles of prophet. Because people spoke word of knowledge, they call them prophet. They are not prophet. We mustn't mess up the office. We can have titles of doctor and other titles. We can appoint elders, but we cannot appoint a fivefold ministry. It's called by God. If you are appointed and you are not called, you cannot manifest in the office. Because for each office, there are manifestations that is attached to it. So if you are ordained to wrong office, you will bear that title, you will never manifest. Obviously, one of the things I will say today is that if anybody feels that is ordained to wrong office, resign from it and go for the one that you know that you are. And we understand the fact that, let me just tell you because this is just coming to me. We ministers have taught people about the power of the spoken word. Correct? So, this is what the Lord has revealed to me. Quite a long time I've thought about it. If this man is an evangelist and I call him pastor every day. Now, the word I'm speaking will be made manifest and we want to operate through him, but there is no deposit of my word, so it becomes empty words. But he's an evangelist, but because I have not been speaking that to him, he has the deposit of evangelist, but there is no birth. There is no word, birth, spirit. Jesus said the word you speak is spirit. There is no spirit word birth to react with that potential and bring it out. So this guy will just be an evangelist by potential, but doing nothing. Doing nothing. But what happens when I begin to call him an evangelist? Now, when I begin to call him by the office, I birth the spirit that will provoke the mechanics in him. So the more I call this man evangelist, the more I enhance the grace in him by the power of the spoken word. The simple way to test this is to, well, I wouldn't tell you to do that. But if somebody is being called foolish all the time, he will become foolish. Jabez was miserable not because he was born to be miserable, but because he was named misery. His name was affliction. And so because they called him affliction enough time, he became miserable. Affliction. We understand that. So what I'm saying by that is that you must not accept anybody to ordain you or lambast you with the office of the Spirit that you know is not yours. Tell him you are not. You are not. Because in calling you something different, it's like the devil comforting you and taking you away from your real office. Of course, too, when we call somebody in the office, we place demand on the anointing that is upon the office, then we can draw from that person. Okay, now, visions and dreams, we understand that they are mechanisms that God uses to communicate to prophets. But I want us to look at this. The word vision here and dream here is a literary word for vision and dream. And that is talking about like you seeing a television. That's the vision it's talking about here. We understand that vision also can be used synonymously to describe an imagination, a thought of what you envision. But when the Bible speaks about visions here, it's not talking about something that a man, that originated from a man. It's talking about God of heaven just coming and opening the eyes of somebody and showing you pictures or scenery. That is this vision. And the dream he's talking about here too, he's talking about like Joseph slept. He had a dream. This dream he's talking about is not a dream you can have without sleeping. It is a revelation of pictures or scenery in your subconscious, your total subconscious state. That is when you are sleeping. When you are sleeping on your bed, you are totally subconscious of your environment, and at that time is when you have a dream like this. But we understand the fact that we use the word dream also synonymously to interpret to what I desire in my heart. You know, I dream of something. I desire something to be done. So in the area of interpretation of dream or application of dream as your heart desire and vision as your imagination, we want to look tonight into both. Dreams and visions. Now, we're going to go very fast. There are some things I want to say. They are key points, and I want us to look at it very briefly, and I believe God will take you deeper into it. Every minister must have a dream in the sense of a desire that you want to happen or a plan concerning your calling. Every minister must have a dream that is something that, you know, as you are called by God, this is what I want to accomplish. Without a dream, there is no focus. And I will take us through some few things here. Dream, as if we look at dream in this context, that is the dream that you have when you are awake. That is, you imagine something, you sat down, you began to look at yourself that the Lord has called me. Now the Lord has called me. What do I want to become? What do I want to achieve? What is my aim? And then things begin to develop inside you. Now, if a minister goes into the field without sitting down and having a dream, he shipwrecks. Not only that, you can easily be frustrated, not by the devil, but by the fact that you have no dream. And this has nothing to do with the devil. Now, what happens to a man without a dream is that when you hear they are doing something in this church, you keep it, you pick it up, you want to do it. You hear they are doing something over there, you think that's the right thing to do, you pick it up. You hear there's something over there, you pick it up. All over there, pick it up. You will give back, if you have anyone following you, you will give back to a massive people who are confused completely. If you look at from Genesis, God never raises a man who is not a dreamer to lead people. Because you see, God gives dream. We'll talk about that by sleeping. But God expects anyone that he has called to lead people to sit down and develop a dream. And the dream that you develop in your heart must be in accordance to the calling that is given you. Do you know something? I have seen in our time in England, especially in this city, most ministers, I would say every minister, most ministers want to have orphanage, most ministers want to have a school, most ministers want to have a crèche, most ministers, because some folks are doing those stuff. And so you see many ministers pick up social programs, pick up, other things. This can get you grant from the government. We can do it also. We got to do this for the neighborhood. We can do it also. You are doing this in the neighborhood. We can do it also. But let me say something to you. It is a tactics of the devil to detract your attention and make sure you don't fulfill what the mandate God has given you. It's not all of us that you have primary school. It's not all of us that you have crèche. We are not sent by God to satisfy the neighborhood. We're not. We are not. As long as you concentrate on other people's dreams, or as long as your dream is mechanized by the dreams of other people or by the views of other people, I'm talking about man and woman of God, you will miss God's given dream. And you will concentrate on the dreams given by others. You will not really have success in those dreams because God didn't give you. And you will neglect that which God has given you. Frustration. That's what ends up. You don't start a school because you have space. No, you don't. Oh, we have space, we have to do something with this space, let's start a school. No, you can't do that. In other words, therefore, any dream a minister must have must be in line with God's given vision. Then you prosper. Look at Pastor Wilson. He has a school. But he didn't have a property. And the school started. And the school is successful. And the school made impact in the society, nationally. But yet he hasn't got a property. But we have many who have big properties. If they dare venture into school, even the neighborhood they will not affect. You see, we need to understand that God gives vision, man develops dreams, and your developed dreams must be in line with God's given vision. Whenever you miss it, you can never prosper in it. You spend all the time of your life that you are running after those stuff, and you find out at the end of it, you wasted it. But if it's God who gave it to you, it doesn't matter any storm, and it was in the right timing, you will find out that the vision cannot be killed. It can be it can be shaken, it can go through several storms, but is advancing before your eyes. It's advancing. We understand it's not quite easy, but you must pass through the test time. So you must have a dream. The second sure thing is that you must have a vision, both from the Lord and from your imagination after you have received the vision from the Lord. Can I say to you that God is always willing to give you a dream and give you a vision? Now, I'm talking about the dream as subconscious state. I believe very much that God speaks to all that he called when they sleep. I checked through the Bible, and you are ministers, I want to check through the Bible. Everyone that God has called and sent, at one time or the other, we had reports where they had a dream, and in the dream they had encounters, either angel or stuff like that. God is willing to give us dream. When God gives you a dream, which is an encounter when you are sleeping, what does it interpret to? We understand from the story of Joseph that God reveals his heart and plans for you through dreams. One of the things that have been of great concern to me over the past 2 months plus, and I've been teaching, is on various ways that God speaks. And when I started teaching about it, I said to the people, I'm not going to teach at all about hearing from your mind, because even the ungodly hear from their mind. They hear in their spirit. I want to teach you on God's audible voice. I want to teach you God speaking by dreams. I want to teach you God speaking by open vision. And how can you get there? Now, can I say something to us, ministers? Everyone called by God, God is willing to meet with you when you are sleeping over the assignment he had given you. I'm not talking about having nightmares now. If Satan can obstruct our dream when we sleep, and sometimes we struggle with him and war with demons on our dreams, how much more would we not think or understand that the God of heaven also, with his holy angels, want to appear to us on our dream, to try to give us a better understanding of the calling, to try to show us where we are in the race, to try to show us where we should be that we are not yet, to try to show us what we have neglected to do, which we should do, to try to show us when will some of the things we are expecting or asking him will happen, so that we can take our cool. God is willing to reveal dreams. I want to say also that when God gives a dream, or when you have a dream, a revelation concerning your vision, you must be sure of it, that is from the Lord. You must be sure of it. Can I say something to us? I know that hope deferred makes the heart weary. Correct? But that hope deferred will weary the heart that has no dream from God. Do you know when the Lord reveals a dream to you about where you are going, about your ministry, about your church, about what he will do to you, it doesn't matter what happens to you, you will always remember that dream. It doesn't matter what you are going through. It doesn't matter how much it looks impossible. It doesn't matter how much the environment looks unsuitable. The only anchor will be the dream that you saw. And of course, we know through Joseph's story that men cannot kill dreams that God gives, no matter how hard they try. You see, Joseph told his brother he didn't make mistake. I've just been teaching about that for a while now. He didn't make mistake. Joseph told his brother, yeah, God made him tell his brothers. It wasn't a mistake. But God wanted to prove and to show us that no man and no demon can kill a dream that God gives. The only one that can kill the dream is the dreamer. When you trade your dream for a porridge, when you trade your dream for peanuts, for money, for fame, for name. Now, so we understand from that very story that when God gives you a dream, you must be sure of the dream. You must never doubt the dream. You know, members of the church can doubt dreams, but it will be odd for their pastor also to be doubting dreams that God gave him. Do we get what I'm saying now? Now, when I'm talking about dreams, I'm talking about this in this definition of dream. I'm talking about the dream that God gave you in the night when you are sleeping. You are not thinking about anything and God of heaven just came and revealed something to you on the dream about you and about your future. About what he wants to do through you. Did you get what I'm saying now? But you see, the amazing thing God made me realize is that everybody can get to that. They can get that from God. If there's any minister here who had not had a dream encounter from God about his plan for your ministry, you can get it. And I will tell you how. You can get it. The same way that you can get dream when you sleep. The same procedure you will follow and God will give you an open vision. If a minister had never had open vision, you can get it. It's not a gift, as you understand it, a classified gift. Never. Joel says, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Sons and daughters will prophesy, and say, young men shall dream dreams. Old men shall dream dreams. And it says, upon them I pour my spirit, and they shall see visions. God does not give you various dreams and visions. Every encounter of revelation and dream is another part of the whole that he had revealed. For the timing of God, there is no delay about it. No matter how long you wait for it, God waits at the end. You are the one that will work from the beginning to meet him at the end, but you still get there if you can be consistent. I would like to say a very special thank you to all our viewers. I'm sure the Lord had been blessing you since you have been watching our program on the television. The Lord had put in my heart that we should publish a magazine now, of which I believe that you'll be mightily blessed. And I would like to introduce you to the Overcomers. This is our partnership magazine. The Lord has inspired me to write into the magazine my personal encounters with God, testimonies of my experiences with God, and of course to a good number of things that God had been teaching me. And this magazine is published as a backup to what you have heard on television. This tells more than what you can get from us or through us on the television. And I want you, if you are interested in the magazine, I want you to contact our website and send us an email to place order, or phone our office on the number that is shown on the screen. This magazine is for everyone that have been blessed by our program. I'm very sure that the Lord will bless you.